Hello everyone, this is Sakshi. You're watching Inventiva and this is the Crucial Hour at 8. News from 8 to 8. Looking first at the national news. 4 get death for blasts at Modi's 2013 rally in Patna. On Monday, a special NIA court in Patna sentenced to death 4 of the 9 persons it had held guilty of carrying out bomb explosions during the NDA Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi's Hunkar rally in Gandhi Maidan in 2013. The Special National Investigation Agency Court had on October 27 convicted 9 out of 10 accused. 2 of the other convicts have been given a life sentence, 2 others 10 years imprisonment and 1 7 years imprisonment. Delhi police seized 4,000 kg firecrackers, of which 26 were arrested before Diwali. The licensing unit of the Delhi police stated that no new licenses would be issued for the sale of crackers and even requests of permanent shops would be cancelled in case they violated the norms after imposing the ban on the sale and bursting of firecrackers till January 1, 2022 to combat pollution. The centre's vaccination scheme has created 2 classes of citizens in India, says Kerala High Court. Due to the state-sponsored vaccination scheme, there are 2 types of citizens in the country: those who received Covaxin and Covishield. The former's movement is restricted, while the latter can go anywhere, the court said. State Investigation Agency formed in Jammu and Kashmir for speedy probes in terror-related cases. The Jammu and Kashmir Home Department, in an order issued on Monday, said the State Investigation Agency, or SIA, which a director will head, will be mandated to probe terror offences like terror finance and false propaganda and those under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, or UAPA. Quick update on COVID-19: as 10,423 new cases reported in a day, vaccination nears 107 crore. India reported 10,423 new cases and 443 deaths in the last 24 hours. The death toll stands at 458,880. The country also reported 15,021 recoveries during the previous 24 hours. Over 1 billion vaccine doses have been administered so far. India's non-fossil energy capacity would increase to 500 gigawatts by 2030, says Harshvardhan Shringla. During a press conference in Glasgow, Foreign Secretary of India Harshvardhan Shringla said India's non-fossil energy capacity would increase to 500 gigawatts by 2030. He also noted that 50% electricity capacity would be met from renewable energy by 2030, and India will reduce its projected carbon emission by 1 billion tons from now until 2030. Supreme Court sets aside Calcutta High Court's total ban on firecrackers. The Apex Court instead suggested that the High Court explore more ways by which the executive could prevent the import of harmful crackers and harmful ingredients used in them into the state, besides ensuring the sale of only green crackers by strengthening its enforcement mechanisms. PM Modi extends greetings on the special occasion of Dhanteras. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday extended greetings to people on the occasion of Dhanteras. Greetings to everyone on the special occasion of Dhanteras, the Prime Minister said on Twitter in the morning. YSR Congress's Dasari Sudha wins by-election to AP's Badvel Assembly seat. Apart from the ruling YSR Congress party, the BJP and the Congress fielded their candidates for the by-election, which was necessitated after sitting legislator G. Venkata Subbaiah. Private sector firms set to make small arms. In a needed boost to the government's Make in India campaign, the weapons factory will make SSS Defence, the second private sector company in India to manufacture small arms for the local and export markets, after PLR System Limited, or PLR, a joint venture between Adani Group and Israel Weapon Industries, or IWI. Har Ghar Dastak, India to launch mega vaccination drive today against COVID. The central government will on Tuesday launch the Har Ghar Dastak mega vaccination campaign against coronavirus disease on the occasion of Dhanvantari Divas, according to people familiar with the development. The month-long door-to-door vaccination campaign aims to inoculate the entire population in poor-performing districts. Will give free pilgrimage if voted in, says Arvind Kejriwal. The announcement of a free pilgrimage is the third in a list of guaranteed promises that the AAP leader has offered the people of Goa after previously promising free, uninterrupted power supply and an unemployment allowance. Moving on to international news, a loud explosion, gunfire was heard near Kabul military hospital. A massive explosion was heard on Tuesday near the Sardar Muhammad Daud Khan military hospital in Afghanistan's capital city Kabul, followed by the sound of gunfire, media reports quoted witnesses. World leaders back deal to end deforestation by 2030 at COP26. More than 100 world leaders, including Brazil's Jair Bolsonaro, supported the climate summit agreement. Activists say it greenlights another decade of deforestation. PM Modi's climate action commitments leave room for India's economic growth. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's commitment to climate action, with India promising to achieve net zero emissions by 2070, appears to have been taken with a global strategic landscape. His speech at the COP26 indicates that India is all for saving the planet without inhibiting India's economic growth and, at the same time, monitoring other countries walk the talk on countering climate change. Queen Elizabeth calls for joint action on the climate crisis. The statement, delivered in a video message to the COP26 conference in Glasgow, came after a day of speeches from world leaders warning of the urgency of the crisis. PM Modi sets India's 2070 zero carbon emission target at the COP26 summit. He said India was the only country to have met its target set at the Paris Climate Agreement in letter and spirit, as the 2015 meeting was not just a summit but a commitment. Lawmaker to introduce a bill to make Diwali a federal holiday in the US. Democrat Carolyn Maloney from New York will be joined by Indian American lawmakers and community members in introducing the bill. Indonesian researchers breed good mosquitoes to combat dengue. The trial results, published by the New England Journal of Medicine in June, showed that deploying mosquitoes with Wolbachia reduced dengue cases by as much as 77% and hospitalizations by up to 86%. Moving on to finance, IFSC plans to step up annual allocation for India to $3 billion. The International Finance Corporation, the private finance arm of the World Bank, will step up its annual allocation to India to $3 billion from $2 billion now, its regional vice president for Asia and Pacific, Alfonso Gracia Mora, told ET. FASTag toll collection reached a record Rs 3,356 crores in October. According to the government data, toll collection through FASTag recorded 193.6 million transactions amounting to 3,000 crore rupees in September, while in August it had recorded 201.2 million transactions worth 3,076.56 crores. Fiscal deficit hits 4-year low of Rs 5.26 lakh crore, or 35% of budget estimates. The centre's fiscal deficit hit a 4-year low of Rs 5.26 lakh crore, or 35% of the budget estimates at the end of the first half of FY22, helped by buoyant tax revenues. Analysts peg NII growth at 5% year-on-year. Profit may increase up to 100%. India's biggest state-owned lender, State Bank of India, report its July-September quarter or Q2 FY22 earnings on Wednesday, November 3rd. Most brokerages are incredibly bullish on the lender's net profit for the quarter. India is by far the fastest growing crypto market, says Vincent Lau, Huobi Global. Cryptos have gained currency among traders and investors alike over the past few months, despite their volatile nature. In an interview, Vincent Lau, Managing Director of International Operations at Huobi Global, tells Puneet Wadhwa that young working adults between 25 and 34 who are in Indian Tier 2 and 3 cities are leading the charge in terms of crypto adoption. Fuel prices hiked for the 7th straight day. Petrol crosses Rs 110 in Delhi. Petrol and diesel prices witnessed a hike for the 7th consecutive day across the country on Tuesday. In Delhi, with an increase of 0.35 rupees in petrol and diesel prices, their cost rose to Rs 110.04 per litre and 98.42 rupees per litre respectively today. Tata Motors struck Q2 loss, stock up 5% on good JLR operational performance. Shares of Tata Motors were up 5% at 509.95 rupees on the BSE in Tuesday's intraday trade, after the company's wholly owned subsidiary Jaguar Land Rover UK reported good operational performance in the July-September quarter. The management said JLR expects to see gradual recovery starting in the second half. or October-March of FY22. Delhivery files draft papers with SEBI to raise 7,460 crore rupees via IPO. Delhivery Limited, a homegrown logistics and supply chain startup, has filed a draft red herring prospectus with the Securities Exchange Board of India or SEBI to raise 7,460 crores via an initial public offering or IPO. Elon Musk dares UN, says, "Take my $6 billion and explain how you will solve world hunger." Elon Musk, the wealthiest person in the world, threw a challenge at the United Nations. He said that he would sell $6 billion worth of Tesla stocks and donate the proceeds to the United Nations Food Agency if it could show how the money would solve world hunger. Talking about sports, Yuvraj Singh hints at comeback from retirement next year. World Cup winning former India all-rounder Yuvraj Singh has hinted at his decision to come out of retirement in February next year, on public demand more than 2 years after he called it quits. Eoin Morgan surpasses MS Dhoni and Asghar Afghan as captain with most T20 international wins. England skipper Eoin Morgan on Monday surpassed India's Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Afghanistan's Asghar Afghan in registering the most number of wins by a captain in men's T20 internationals during his side's win against Sri Lanka in T20 World Cup here. Pakistan primed to secure a semi-final berth. On Tuesday, Pakistan will aim to maintain its remarkable consistency against a spirited Namibia and seal a semi-final spot in the T20 World Cup. Umpire Michael Gove withdrew for 6 days for an alleged bubble breach. According to a report, English umpire Michael Gove has been withdrawn from officiating in the ongoing T20 World Cup for 6 days and was placed under quarantine for an alleged bio-bubble breach. Kapil Dev says Kohli's not brave enough statement is weak. He urges Dhoni, Shastri to lift team morale. The legendary Kapil Dev feels Virat Kohli's admission of his team not being brave enough in the T20 World Cup loss to New Zealand is a fragile state, and head coach Ravi Shastri along with mentor Mahendra Singh Dhoni should step up to lift the players' morale. Sports Minister hands over trophies to 2020 National Sports Award winners. Sports Minister Anurag Thakur Monday physically handed over trophies to the winners of National Sports Awards 2020 after the award ceremony was held virtually last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In Boxing World Championships, Shiva Thapa enters quarterfinals. Five-time Asian medalist Shiva Thapa, 63.5 kgs, stood just one win away from becoming the first Indian male boxer to claim 2 World Championship medals after he advanced to the quarterfinals of the ongoing edition here. Nadal targets the Australian Open warm-up return in December. Rafael Nadal, who has been out with a foot injury since losing in the semi-finals of the French Open, said on Monday that he wants to return in December in Abu Dhabi as he targets the Australian Open in January. It was one of those matches where nothing worked out for India, says Sachin Tendulkar. On Monday, batting great and former India captain Sachin Tendulkar said the national team's defeat to New Zealand in the T20 World Cup was one of those matches where nothing works out even if you try. This is Sakshi Baukar signing off. Till then, wishing you a very happy Dhanteras from Inventiva magazine. Stay safe and subscribe to our channel for daily updates.